Hey, Ricky, what are you doing? Hey, sorry everyone. Ricky the Iguana was super excited to interview JHK for today's pre-show. Unfortunately, there was just one slight problem. He can't talk, so you guys are stuck with me, Alan the intern. Let's get this interview started. Okay, everybody, I am pleased to have JHK from Kumite TV. How's it going, man?
It's going really good, man. I'm happy to be speaking with you today.
Oh, that's great. All my viewers were wondering to know, how did you break into the business?
I believe in 2014, I've been a fan for a long time. And I just got, just some idea sparked into my mind one day. And I was just sitting around and thinking, is there any, websites covering, MMA in Asia? So I just Googled it, and there was one site that popped up, AsiaMMA.com. And I just, sent them an email, and it was this woman named Lily. She was doing it by herself, just running the whole site and just covering all the shows in Asia. And I asked her, can I, get with you guys and maybe write something or, start covering the sport somehow. I wasn't expecting anything out of it. I was just trying to do something, do something different. And yeah, she gave me the opportunity and I just did it. I was terrible, but as the years go by, you get better at what you do. And here I am right now.
Yes, fair enough. That's pretty cool. You would say it's fair to say that UFC has all these great fighters now. What division do you think is the most stacked?
Wow, there's a couple of divisions that are really, really strong, but I feel like the bantamweight division is probably the most stacked in the UFC right now. And of course, the lightweight is always going to be that marquee weight for everybody. But right now, there's so many killers at bantamweight. They don't get the shine, I think, that they deserve compared to like a lightweight or a featherweight division. But if you look at it and you dissect the divisions, the bantamweight division, 135 is crazy. And especially with all the young prospects coming up at the same time, and the top 15, you put them against anybody, you put against any champion, I think they have a chance to win.
Yeah, so far this interview with JHK is going great. But first, let's go take a little bit of a break and go to commercial.
Hello, I'm Sean Mcnall, owner of TG Marketing. We are a promotional product company located in Regina, Saskatchewan. Originally founded by Tom G. Mcnall in 1985, we are now in our 35th year of business. My brother Ryan and I, along with our great staff, have carried the torch since Tom retired in 2011. For those of you who don't know what we do, we sell items with a company's logo on it, like clothing, pens, phone chargers, Bluetooth speakers. The list of products available is endless. Our products are a great form of advertising. Whether you want to give a gift to a valued client or show your appreciation to your staff, we have a friendly team that can help find the right product for your needs. The key to our success has been our customer service and our vast knowledge of products in our industry. We ask the right questions to get you in line with the proper product for the project you are working on. Stop by 1046 Winnipeg Street and view our showroom. Get some ideas for that next promotion you're working on. Let's make your business what everyone's talking about.
So, if you had a chance to pick your Mount Rushmore of MMA fighters, who would be on there for the?
Man, that is such a hard question because there's so many fighters that have come throughout the years, since UFC won. So, and even before that in Japan. I think, of course, you're going to have to put Royce Gracie there because of what he accomplished at the start. He proved to everybody that jiu-jitsu was the superior martial arts. And it wasn't even really MMA back then. It was just like martial arts versus martial arts, but you got to put him in there. Another person I feel like should be there is Fedor, of just what he accomplished in his generation. And, with another promotion on the other side of the world, you can't just focus on the UFC. You got to go through many of the different promotions. I think Fedor is probably going to be there. Oh man, it's so hard. Anderson Silva.
Yes.
I think Anderson Silva is probably one of the guys in the mid 2000s or the mid 2010s where mid 2010s, I believe, is where everybody just started to latch on. You know what I mean? He wasn't the best at promoting himself, but just his actions and just his highlight reel and what he accomplished in the octagon, he has to be there. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure everybody will want to throw in the steroid stuff and the USADA stuff, but I don't know. I just like to look at what they did in the cage. And if you look at that, Anderson Silva's probably there. How many do I got left? I got 2 more or 1 more?
You got 1 more. So, yeah.
I'd have to put GSP there. GSP was unstoppable, and he transformed. He was another one that transformed the UFC, but just in a different way. And it's not just, you look at the performances and the records and everything, but he also, I think he was one of the ones that transcended the sport in many ways. One of the first ones. So you got to put him there.
Only thing I would say, mine's more money-wise. For example, like Ronda Rousey, like that. Because I was surprised with Dana White when he was kind of against women fighting, and then her being dominating Bellator and her like getting all this traction for UFC, or Conor McGregor talking about all the records he brought, like all the fights he has normally have a lot of pay-per-view buys. And I'm biased because I'm in Canada. I always had to have GSP, so I'm pretty biased when it comes to that. And then, as much as I hate to say it, I love to say John Jones, but the stuff that happened with him is, it's kind of going down. But who knows? Yeah.
Yeah, John Jones is definitely. I should probably put him in there. John Jones has done phenomenal things in this sport, and he probably will do more if he continues to fight and surpass Anderson Silva, surpass GSP, surpass Fedor. I don't think anybody's going to really surpass Royce Gracie. People don't talk about that guy enough, man, what he did for this sport.
Yes, that's definitely true. What is your opinion like on Israel Adesanya, considering that his last fight he lost, and then when he's facing against Marvin Vettori, how do you think that fight's going to go down?
First, my thoughts on Israel Adesanya. He's another one of those fighters that could transcend the sport. He's still young in the game, even though he's accomplished so much already. And we still have maybe even 10 more years of Israel Adesanya. Imagine where he can be by the end of the 10 years, He could be fighting at heavyweight. We have no idea, It could be a possible thing. But for this point right now, I think he is one of the top stars, undeniably, one of the most skilled fighters. And he's going to have those Anderson Silva moments. We just haven't seen them yet. But Marvin Vettori, he's a tough fight, though. Marvin Vettori, he did take down Israel Adesanya, and we see what happened in the last fight against Blachowicz, right? He was taken down, held down. But I think that was a different fight. That's a different Adesanya. Adesanya, he's the style bender, right? So he bends styles, and I think he's going to learn from that last fight against Blachowicz so much to where he comes in, and then a lot of people are going to expect him to get taken down by Marvin Vettori, and he probably will, and maybe he won't. I don't know.
Okay, I'd like to thank my guest, JHK, for a great interview. Now it is time for the Rod Pedersen Show. So this is Alan Lee, the intern, signing off.
The Elks. I'm a fan. I'm in. What's the deal that it wasn't Elk? Elks is good. Elk would have been great.
How about that?
It's like, as we said yesterday, the Heat, the Jazz, the Mammoth. It's that team name without an S on the end of it. And I'm not being critical. I'm all for the Elks. I think it's cool. I love the logo. I love the scheme. I'm on it.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
It sure as heck is. Happy Friday, everybody. Freedom Friday. as my old radio buddy Barry Davies used to say. Happy Freedom Friday.
Okay.
And we're live coast to coast across North America on Game Plus television. All 10 provinces and 31 states, also YouTube and Facebook. We got Moose DuPont here, the local media star. And John Frenzy coming up shortly. He's on the sponsors couch. Big day for John Frenzy. We'll tell you why in a moment. I hope you're ready to talk some football. I've had all the football people saying that they've been waiting all week to talk ball and get our thoughts. And we got some big guests today. Dave Naylor from TSN will be joining us with his take on the latest in the Canadian Football League. We all know that all that matters is Monday's Board of Governors vote, whether the CFL is going to play in 2021 or not, or at the very least kick off on August the 5th. Nails will join us to talk about that and the stadium capacity, which is coming up here in the Quick Six. Bruce Anderson is an offensive assistant coach with the UofR Rams football program, and he'll be with us today to talk about the upcoming U Sports season, the Rams 50-50, and how you can help out. And we're looking forward to talk some university football.
Oh, yeah. And
James Wilder Jr. of the Edmonton Elks. What was your favorite moment of the James Wilder Jr. Montreal era?
I know, right? So many to choose from. I just don't know.
He signed there for 1 year.
Yeah.
How about that? Never played a game, but he had a fantastic sim season.
You know what? That was it. That was the memory of the sim season.
Yes, exactly. By the way, Football Friday is brought to you by Flame Tech. Locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. So I want to say, hey, to Denton and his staff up there in Saskatoon. I know they watch pretty much every day, but specifically Fridays, so Flame Tech brings you Football Fridays. Now, the Quick Six show topics, please, Director Jordan, if you don't mind. He's wearing a great Saskatchewan Rush shirt today, by the way. A gift from the Rush.
No, he is. He looks sharp, got a haircut, and got a new shirt on.
Thought he looked younger.
Yeah.
Rush Nation!
And by the way, I tried moving heaven and earth and couldn't get it done this morning. I really wanted that Quick Six buzzer this morning to be the slot machine from T-Mobile, the slot machine after when they announced the goal.
Oh, yeah.
Golden Knights goal.
Oh, yeah. They put sugar in my coffee. Oh! I just noticed.
Uh-oh. Guess I'm making coffee.
Yeah, can you put some more on over there?
I got more caliber on.
I hate sugar in my coffee. I'm sweet enough. Number one, because it is a Football Friday today, I've got written down CFL stuff. I'm telling you, I got mostly coaches writing me from all over North America saying, can't wait to get your take on all this. So where do I start? CFL Players Association announcing yesterday that they have agreed to a memorandum of understanding, memorandum of agreement, whatever, they all mean the same thing, right? That they are agreed to the terms from the owners. Here you go, owners. We're ready to play, which was basically what Solomon Elamimian said, and Brian Ramsey, the executive director of the Players Association. I'm paraphrasing, but they said the ball's in your court now, and there's that, and then some, details of that. I'm trying to recall what's been reported and what hasn't been reported versus what I know, and I'm just going to tell you what I know. I don't think anybody said this, but the owners have told the players, I guess, we're going to pay 100% of your salary. So I had people calling me going, what exactly does that mean? I said, hold on, I'm going to call an agent friend of mine. So I did. This was all last night. And he's like, it's kind of wording. They're going to get 100% of what's left after the 20% pay cut, after prorated salaries. The report and pass bonuses will all be paid for those that have them in their contracts, and incentives are a gray area. It all kind of depends on how many games they play. So it's wording. And I'm sorry to tell you, but have you seen, we kind of all stumbled upon this ourselves with our little rock pile when we put our heads together. One guy said to me, this is just shifting blame. It was on the players. The players have shifted it to the owners, and it looks like one big PR battle is the way it's going to who's going to take the blame for if it doesn't happen. That's just what we all came together with. So that's what I know there. And I'll get to the stadium capacity in a moment, but that's what's new in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, no, and I think that all makes sense. The incentives being a gray area, I can totally see that now. And as you mentioned that, I start thinking about it. And a lot of those incentives are season-based incentives based on an 18-game schedule, right? Passing yards, number of touchdowns. Well, those incentives will be extremely hard to hit if you're only playing half a season, right?
Yeah.
So do they prorate the incentives?
That was
right?
the question.
30 touchdowns now becomes 15 touchdowns or blah, 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 blah. So I get that as a gray area. The 100% of salaries, I get it. You don't get paid a full season salary if you don't play every game, right? It's a per game salary based on that number. I understand that. That makes sense. But yeah, it's completely, you're right. It's a PR battle. It's a PR battle. And the PA, puts it in the owner's court now. And so if they don't play, if they decide to not play on August 5th, it'll be on the owners, not on the players.
And it absolutely will be.
Yeah.
But I put it in my commentary this morning, which airs on Cat Country 98 FM and Rock 98.5 FM, that some of these coaches didn't think the players would agree to the cuts. Forget about the 100% salary, because it's not. All those concessions we discussed, they didn't think the players would agree to them. And I said, of course they're going to agree to them. Absolutely. They just want to play. They play for nothing. I'm surprised you guys don't know that as coaches. And some of them said to me, they tell you things they won't tell us. And that makes sense, because that's always been the case since I left the league and when I was in the league. So it didn't surprise me. I see people saying, massive hurdle cleared because the players have agreed to the concessions. I'm like, that was never a hurdle. In my 4 hurdles, that wasn't one. Okay?
Yeah.
One of them was stadium attendance and capacity for seating, which Naylor reported was 35%. And then that's the minimum they're going to need to play, I guess. But then he doubled down and said, but they could play with less, and it's just getting a little too confusing for me. 10,000 is the magic number that I've been reporting for weeks is what they need. And then you see Farhan saying to Naylor, well, they're not going to know if they're going to get 35% before Monday's vote. See how confusing it's getting.
Oh, yeah.
So on the attendance thing, what do you think about that?
Well, yeah, 35% seems accurate, but that's nothing different than what you've been saying for the last number of months. You've worded it differently. You've said 10,000, but my quick math, and I'm not using a calculator here, 10,000 is 35% in most stadiums. I mean, barring Vancouver and Edmonton, which are bigger seating capacities, 35,000 is more than 10,000. And places like Toronto, I think it's a little less. I don't know what capacity is out of BMO, but here in Saskatchewan, in Winnipeg, it's around 10,000.
I've seen projections that come Monday's vote, potentially the only team that will vote no is the Toronto Argonauts, and will that no vote by one team be enough to keep them off the field? That's what we'll find out come Monday, or do they kick the can down the road? But you people that love CFL football, you are really buying into what you're hearing. So positive. They cleared this major hurdle. I think it's reflected in our daily poll question today, the results. For Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center, will the CFL Board of Governors vote to play on Monday? 86% on Twitter saying yes, they will. What are they saying on Facebook, Clark?
81%.
Same thing. So optimism abounds. And by the way, when I talked to that agent last night and a few of the coaches, they all said, Rod, you obviously want the league to play. You want us to play this year because how great it is for your show. It's the only daytime show talking CFL football in this country. Yes, we want them to play. But I'm giving you a little bit of a look behind the curtain of what everybody's talking about. That's all. And as I said to the agent, I said, yes, I want everybody to play, but I don't like people getting snowed. And I hope you appreciate that. Are you ready to move on?
Let's do it.
The warm-up, by the way, is brought to you by eCall Electric, your complete electrical distributor with locations in Regina, Estevan, Swift Current, Yorkton, and Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan. eCall Electric, let's get to work. Right after coffee. My Blades mug.
It's nice.
Point 2, Vegas Golden Knights beating Colorado 6-3 last night in Game 6. I was bitterly disappointed with that result because I had them winning 5-3.
I was going to say.
Bump.
Yeah.
Go back and check my texts to my brother, Pinkney, my buddy Tim Keeley. I said 5-3 to all of them. I didn't want him to score that 6th goal. So Vegas goes on to play Montreal. But what a great game.
Amazing. I mean, there's been so much really good hockey in these playoffs, Rod. I mean, it's been so much fun to watch. And that game last night, I mean, it had everything you want. I mean, Vegas played a heavy game. physical.
Ran him out of the ring.
They literally did, but Colorado played good. They controlled most of the game in terms of the play, Colorado, but Marc-Andre Fleury lets in one early. Vegas gets it right back. Quick lead changes, lots of drama. It's never felt like it was over. That was incredible. Incredible stuff last night, and Vegas moves on because of it. By the way, what does the team think about you calling them Canada's team? I've kind of been wondering that because you're so close with the franchise.
What do you think they think about it?
I would
They
think
love
they
it.
love it. Yeah, okay, good.
They absolutely love it. Check our Twitter feed. We got people all across Canada sending us selfies and Golden Knights merchandise and hats. What do you mean? It's flying off the shelves.
Good.
Of course they love it. They think it's hilarious. And it just happened.
I thought that's why they made the third jerseys red. That's
Put a Canadian patch on it.
Yeah.
On the arm.
exactly. Well, did you see what Troy did with their little thing to make it a Canadian flag?
Yes.
That looks cool.
Absolutely. So point 3. This came onto my radar by people. A hockey coach texted me last night from Alberta, and he said that reporter in Denver, I can't say what he thought should happen to the reporter in Denver with what he said to Nathan McKinnon after the game last night. Did you see it?
Ooh.
Folks, I didn't watch the news conferences of the losing team. Come on. So I guess it was like 2 minutes into the news conference, the reporter said to McKinnon, if I can paraphrase, the guy couldn't even get his question out. That's how much of a dimwit this guy is. But he basically said, is there any chance that you are overanalyzing things, right, going into a season and you need to just say F it? But he didn't say F it. He said the whole word and just go out and play. And McKinnon just looked at him.
Was a long question about video games. You guys are so good. You're like a video game.
We said you're a gamer.
You're like a game. You're a gamer, yeah, and blah 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 blah. Do you ever just say F that and go out and just win?
Dean Blundell, who the Toronto viewers would know, longtime radio guy out there, he tweeted this guy's name and tagged him in it, and then he deleted the tweet. I went back to try and find it. I don't know what the Denver reporter's name is. I don't think after today he should be a Denver reporter anymore. You drop an... Do you know... It wasn't Adrian Dater, was it? It was Adrian? It was Adrian? How do you drop an F-bomb? Well, he works for himself.
Oh, no. It was just an awkward question. Like, I don't... When we talk about, like, he should lose his job, and I never really advocate for that. It wasn't that he asked a dumb question, like, that really pissed the guy off. It was just really awkward and weird and made the whole thing uncomfortable. He didn't even know what the question really was. Right?
Listen, we're headed to an Armageddon with the media and the players and coaches. We're coming to an Armageddon. Do you not sense it? Mm-hmm. The Naomi Osaka thing and now this. Guys and girls in the media, spend more than 2 seconds thinking about what your questions are. And I'm sorry, because Adrian's come on this show twice, and I think he's a great guy. But if I can paraphrase it, how hard is it to say? Are you overanalyzing things too much? Do you need to just go out and play? Why do you need to throw in a F it? Why would you do that? So anyway, he's not going to get fired because he works for himself, as far as I know, right? I think he does. So, and he does a great job. And by the way, with these people texting me, complaining about the media, why are you coming to me? I'm not the head of the union. The rest of the media doesn't even like me. Shall we move on? Point 4, Russell Wilson says he didn't ask for a trade. So I'm sitting there going, where did all this come from? Was it just somebody... Was it like Lancaster used to say about here in Regina? You remember this, Lynch? He said if they haven't heard a rumor by noon, they make one up. And maybe that's what it was in Seattle. Did you ever hear that one?
Yeah. It's funny. You got to have something to talk about. Maybe it's just he's unhappy, and maybe this is what we do, though, in headlines to try and get clicks and to try and generate buzz when there is no buzz. He's unhappy, and somebody might have asked, and again, I'm completely making this up, but somebody might have asked Russell Wilson, would you ever play for somebody else? And he's like, well, I mean, yeah, I would. I'd play somewhere else, Right. Russell Wilson would play somewhere else. He would play for, he's asked for a trade, right? Or, you start taking one thing and it leads to another and it leads to another, and you're playing the telephone game, and all of a sudden him saying, yeah, I would, turns into he's asked for a trade. So if Russell Wilson came out and said this, it's him trying to make sure that the fan base is good and that they know where he's coming from.
Why didn't he say it at the time?
Leverage.
Why can't people?
It's me being Jason Sudeikis. I'm not going to tell you I am. I'm not going to tell you I'm not. See where it gets me.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Good point.
Same deal.
James, watching in Borden, Manitoba, says, I hate to say it, but go Vegas. Well, there's nothing to hate about that. They're Canada's team. Come on, get on board. Blue Jays at Boston tonight. The Jays opened 6.5 behind the division leaders. They lost in Chicago last night, by the way, so it's a midweek series that they lost. And NBA tonight, playoffs, 76ers at Hawks and the Suns at the Nuggets. No hockey tonight, so we'll be watching the association. Cool?
Cool.
We covered a lot of ground here in the warm-up for Equal Electric, and Dave Naylor will join us next. Moose, I'll see you later in the program.
Yeah, that sounds good. And one thought on Adrian Dater.
Yeah.
Last one. I've been there. Dropped an F-bomb on the air.
Yeah, here.
We get over it, okay? I've overcome. You can too.
All right. Let's see what we're learning today. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus Television Network. We're live on YouTube and Facebook daily and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work and that the people we care most about are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It is. Welcome back to the RP Show, everybody. And we've got Hall of Fame Rough Riders broadcaster John Frenzy here in the studio. How you doing, Frenzy?
I'm doing great, Rob. Just great.
His appearances brought to you every Friday by Wheaton Kia. You can find them in North Regina at the corner of Albert and Avonhurst. Frenzy, pull the mic in a little closer to you if you don't mind. We were talking about Monday's Board of Governor vote in the Canadian Football League, and there's all kinds of conjecture out there and predictions as to how it's going to go down. Some I've seen have said that the Argos could or would or will be the only ones to vote no. William May is watching in Lloydminster, and he says, I read they only need 7 out of 9 to vote to play on Monday. I read it too, but I don't know what to believe, and that's part of how the CFL works. It depends on who those 2 are, if there are 2 no votes. But listen, Dave Naylor's been on this all week. He's been at the forefront, as a matter of fact, of the reporting. And let's bring him in, TSN's CFL Insider. Hey, David, I appreciate the time, man, in a busy week, I'm sure. How you doing out there?
Not too bad, like excited like everybody else that it feels like we might be coming to the end of the CFL's great drought and start talking football and remind myself who plays for who and who's coach. I mean, it's been so long since we've actually talked football that when I look at the rosters, I'm like, oh, yeah, I forgot that guy signed there.
Can you believe it's going to finally happen?
It would be fun to get into the...
David, finally going to happen.
I think, I feel very confident that it will for a few reasons. I mean, one is you look at all the signs, right? Even with what's happening in Ontario and the news this week about them looking for 35% of stadiums open by, the 2nd of July, 100% by the 23rd of July, news from other parts of Canada. And here's the other thing, and I heard you guys just off the top speculating about the votes, and we've done the same thing. Is like, this is not like, a federal election where you've got tens of millions of people voting and who knows how it's going to turn out. We got 9 votes here, right? And I don't know whether the league would schedule a vote if it didn't know it had the votes, right? Like, it's not like there's going to be a great mystery. I mean, I'm sure Randy Ambrosie is in, and I'm led to believe, is in constant communication with the governors. I mean, that is on an ongoing basis. So he knows where all of them stand. He knows what their concerns are. And I don't know for a fact that he wouldn't schedule a vote for Monday if he didn't have the votes. But I tend to think that there's a very strong likelihood that we're going to get a yes. And that's the feeling across the league. But I stopped short of guaranteeing it because, as we know, there's nothing for sure in a pandemic.
There's nothing for sure in life, Dave, but what are the chances that this is a vote to not kick off August 5th and push it back to Labor Day? What are the chances of that, do you think?
I think there's a chance of that. And I look, there are a lot of dynamics at play here. And some teams are more concerned with, how trying to cut their losses for this season as much as possible. And others just want to get on the field. I think there are some different perspectives. I mean, we've had teams that have come out like Ottawa and Hamilton have said, hey, if it's no fans in the stands, we'll still play. So, the fact that other teams have been a little bit sort of identified by their silence on that one, because, they could have joined the fray publicly, but they didn't. So I think that's a possibility. And we don't know what I think there's also the difficult part for the owners, I think, the governors, is going to be the leap of faith element to this. Okay. Because they're not going to have approval from the Public Health Agency of Canada by Monday to get the modified quarantine. They're not going to have signatures and guarantees about fans in stands. They're going to have to go with what in some cases senior bureaucrats are telling them, not necessarily the ministers, and sort of the advice of people that they've learned to trust over this process. And I think if you look at the way that amended CBA was written, what we know about it is there's a lot of flexibility in it for the owners, right? In terms of things like being able to add 2 playoff teams, right? And that's obviously flexible that, hey, what happens if we end up with, only an 8-game regular season or a 10-game regular season? And we want to say, well, we're going to have more of a playoff tournament, and that would give them 2 more television playoff dates, would presumably mean 2 more dates with good crowds. There's things that they can do depending on what goes on here. And I misreported the 35% yesterday, and it's complicated, and that's why I got it wrong. Somebody called me and clarified it last night that I said that they had to, initially I was under the impression you had to have at least 35% of a stadium open to hold a game there. And that's technically not quite correct. It is, the way it is you've got to have, that the league is guaranteeing the players at least a 10-season game where 35% of the stadiums for those dates are open. The league could still opt to play with fewer than 35% if they wanted, but the guarantee is if the stadiums are open, you'll get a guarantee of at least a 10-game season. Now, if we get a yes vote on Monday, as I expect we will, for a 14-game season starting.
Oh, and we had him. Oh.
It was going good.
Hanging on his every word.
It was hot there, boy.
Oh, man. And I got all my questions lined up for him. He'll have to log back in. And while I sit here and tap dance, waiting for Dave Naylor to come back, Lynch and I were driving up here this morning, and I have no idea why on NHL radio this morning they were talking about the Vegas-Saskatchewan football game in Las Vegas. Remember when we were listening to that, Lynch? And in my mind, you and Naylor were there. You were both there.
Yeah, we were. I'm sure we were.
1994.
Yep.
The infamous Casey Parks butchering "O Canada," singing to the tune of "O Christmas Tree."
That's right. Oh, it was horrible. That was sickening.
Didn't you and Naylor go down on the Ryder Charter or something?
Yeah, we did.
So, and I have absolutely no idea why they were talking about that night and that football game on Sirius XM NHL radio today. But I'll just never forget, it was a year or two ago that Naylor was on here on a Football Friday with John Lynch, and you two were there. Yep. Naylor said it was one of the greatest memories in his life. Everybody is hanging on Naylor's every word.
That's right.
Which I think he just loves.
And we can't get him on the air.
No. Something zapped him. Derek Lafreni, watching on Facebook, says, "Get him back. You don't think we're trying?"
I'm sorry for laughing.
That's a great idea, Clark says. Let's work on that. My 4 favorite words in broadcasting, we're working on it.
Yeah, that's right.
Arland R. Bruce III's watching, says, "Dave Naylor is definitely the best insider in CFL history. He has all the information on all high-profile players and coaches in the league. Great work, D." Usually it doesn't take this long. I wonder if Naylor's... I was going to say, I wonder if he was still talking and didn't realize that we'd lost the connection. And he's back. Kate Nails, we lost you right where you said you expect it'll be yes and to a 14-game schedule.
Yeah.
If you, so go ahead.
Well, yeah. So I think that point's going to be moot, but you can just see that there's a lot of flexibility built in the owners here that they can do some things that would. It's going to be hard to say exactly what we're coming out of, even if they get a yes vote on Monday, because there's going to be a lot of balls in the air. There's going to be a lot of things that are not guaranteed. And even though it's only going to be, I guess, from June 14th till we get to August 5th, you're talking about 6-7 weeks. I think they're just playing. They've given themselves flexibility that if unforeseen things happen, there's some ways that they can tilt things one direction or another to still have a season.
By the way, did you hear the great compliment from Arland Bruce III on you? I'll say it again if you...
I did not. No.
He was watching and is watching. He says, "Dave Naylor is definitely the best insider in CFL history. He has all the information on all high-profile players and coaches in the league. Great work, D," from Arland Bruce. And the guys just put it up on the bottom of the screen there. So, yeah, let me ask you this.
Can I toss a compliment Arland's way?
The floor is yours.
I would just say that, I wrote a story about 10 years ago where Arland Bruce, on the record, criticized his coach in very, very stark terms, right? Bart Andrus. Things like that guy should go back to Europe and, like really harsh stuff. And I was and as you know, so many times when an athlete gets quoted, criticizing management or coach, the next day they deny it and they shoot the messenger, right? I was walking around TSN the next day and we said, "Arland Bruce must want to kill you, man. I can't believe you wrote that stuff." And then I said, "No, we're good. Arlen Bruce is like the only athlete I've ever known that did that, and the next day didn't shoot the messenger and stood by what he said. I got traded a week later. But that wasn't a bad thing either.
Talk about guys that make the CFL great. Arlen Bruce is definitely one of those. Dave, just a fun question. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
I know of one team whose president is willing to play without the Toronto Argonauts. He's like, forget them, let's play, because his staff told me. I'm not saying the team, but have you investigated that and just say, could we play without all 9 teams? That must have been discussed somewhere along the line.
Yeah, it has. And look, this is what I am kind of led to believe, is that if they got, let's say the vote was 8-1, and look, the one that you're allowed to vote no, but you might still play, right? You're allowed to express your opinion at the Board of Governors table, but then you could say, okay, we voted no, but we're going to go on and play. But if a team said, no, we're not prepared to play, I think, and this is just, I didn't get this from the commissioner, I don't have anything official on this, I think what would happen is the league would go forward and play and essentially dare that team to say, we're not playing. And I think that's what they would do. Now, if you get into 7-2 or 6-3, that may become a different equation, because as we know, a seven teams schedule would be a lot different than 8. We know we've seen an 8-team league before. We've never seen a 7-team league. So, the further you go down that vote, the harder that kind of thing would be to do. But I think if we do get an 8-1 vote, that I think that's what they would say, okay, we're playing, and essentially dare that team to go public and say, yeah, we're not prepared to play. And our team and our players and our coaches, we're going to tell them all that we're sitting out this year. Let me just punctuate that by saying, I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either, but I was told that they can't. It's in the Constitution that they cannot play without every team.
See, this is the other thing that's come up in conversation I have with it. Yes, there is a Constitution, and I just moved a month ago, guys. So somewhere among my boxes here, I have a Constitution. I could dig through it and look for it. In my old house, I knew where it was. I don't know where it is right now. But I've also been told that kind of in these unprecedented times, the Constitution never anticipated, I don't think, a natural disaster that wiped out one season and a quarter of another. So I'm not sure whether practical realities might supersede, the Constitution in this circumstance, and I'm kind of led to believe they might.
There are questions coming in, some of them that I think I can handle. For the ones that I can't, I'm going to put to you, Dave, from
Sure.
Nelson Hacker, which says, the vote have to be majority or unanimous. Do we know? Just to clarify that, what if it's the Argos and Als? It's 2 that say no. Do they have enough stroke, even though it's the tiny minority, to keep them off the field?
I don't know. Like, I think that the idea would be, let's say you got a 7-2 vote, I think the other teams would say, okay, 7-2, we're playing. You're coming with us. If both teams said, we're not prepared to play, look, these are questions that I have been asking for a while, and to which I am told there are no answers. Like, there are no definite answers. There are certainly, considerations, but what would actually happen if we got into a situation like that, and what actual vote you need in this case? Like I said, there's what the Constitution says, and there's the practicality of the matter. And I think the practicality of the matter is going to supersede, and that you're talking about human beings. So I couldn't predict exactly how that would go or what you actually have to have, to play. But I think 8 would be easy. I think 7 would be tough.
Last one, I think we have 2 minutes here, from Jack in Alberta. He says, Dave, are all players going to have to quarantine for the duration of the season when it starts?
Not quarantine, but they're going to be under protocol, and similar to what the NHL players have been on all season. And I guess what's a bit surprising to that is that the return to play protocol for players has no provision for vaccines. Nothing. Right now, at least the way it's written. I think that could change between now and August 5th. And you can understand why you have some players saying, hey, wait a minute, I've got both vaccines, and you telling me I'm going to be under exactly the same restrictions as someone who's chosen to get none? Like, if we have a road trip in another city, I got to get on the bus after the game and go back to my hotel room, and I can't go out, can't do anything, even in a place that's wide open. That is the case right now. But as I mentioned, we are 6 or 7 weeks away, from the opening of the season. I think as the numbers drop and the vaccinations increase and the regions of the country open up, that could change, and there may be some use of vaccines, who's vaccinated, who's not, perhaps, to allow players more freedom. But as it is right now, as it's written, there are no provisions at all regarding vaccine.
Absolutely. Great answer. And it's all the same stuff that I've seen. If you're fully vaccinated, you got no problems. But it's a very small percentage of the players as it stands right now. David, thanks for the update, man. I appreciate all the great work, and thanks for coming on today.
Hey, my pleasure. And we're all looking forward to Monday by Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dave. No kidding. Dave Naylor, we've enjoyed his stuff, obviously, on TSN Sports Center almost every night. Frenzy and I will kick around all that stuff, and I can answer some of the questions that you folks have written in with, because it is a Flame Tech Football Friday. We talk football on Fridays. Football Friday for Flame Tech, locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus Television Network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone, taking our show on the road coast to coast. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away, ultimatefanzone.ca, or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFZ Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Stars, you're dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept admission.
This is why I'm all in.
Admission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prize is a great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Every ticket is your chance to win over $4.2 million in prizes. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. I got a photo coming up here that's going to knock your socks off. Lynch, are you wearing socks today?
Sure am.
Yeah, not your Rough Rider ones, though.
No. Oh, I don't know. I better look.
They are!
I am. There they are.
How about that?
How about that?
What about shorts? Oh, no.
What a shock that John Frenzy's wearing Saskatchewan Rough Riders socks in here today. Allie Hicks watching at Edmonton. She says, happy Flame Tech Frenzy CFL Football Friday from downtown Edmonton RP show. Hoping for good CFL news on Monday. What a great series win by the Vegas Golden Knights. Have an awesome show and weekend. Thank you, Allie. I appreciate that. Boy, my mind's going all over the place, which is not rare, but I liked, who was it? This is, Wayne in Victoria says, I like how honest Dave was in that. If he didn't have an answer, he said he didn't know. Good interview. That was a wonderful interview with David William Naylor of TSN.
He's great, eh?
Yeah, and I appreciate the CFL News guys live tweeting the quotes from Dave, because it's a lot of what I was saying earlier. I don't know the answers to these questions. Like, yeah, so you need 2/3 majority, but if 3 of them vote no and it happens to be the 3 richest teams, then you're not playing, because that's what happened last year.
Yeah.
And Dave said, I don't know if what's going to happen if that happens. So he's confident they're going to vote yes, and I don't really know what made him confident that they're going to vote yes. I have no idea or expectations.
All I know is if they don't, it's disaster time.
Yeah.
Oh, no, disaster.
They're already in disaster time, and when you say that, Randolph Zora, who's one of our regular viewers in Toronto, he says, tell me, why would Toronto hold out? And well, I know, but I feel like I want to say a coach, because it's like I told you this so many times. I'll tell you again. In the case of MLSE, they run their teams according to a balance sheet. So if it's going to cost more to play than not play, then it's very simple. We're not playing. It's just dollars with them. They don't care about missing 2 years. They don't care about what it means to the league. Are you understanding that? I hope you are, Randolph. It's how they run their team. Edmonton, Saskatchewan, Winnipeg, they don't care. They just want to play. We'll sort it out later. And what's to say that MLSE is wrong with that approach? They've got a Larry O'Brien trophy. They got a Calder Cup. Do they not, Clark, with the Marlies? They got a Grey Cup. They've won.
Yep.
It's just a different way. Alan Lee, our intern, the Asian sensation. So it's official. Dave Naylor, rock star of the day. Well, that was quick.
Sure was.
Well, we don't have James Wilder Jr. on yet, so who knows what he's going to bring.
But Murphy, our good buddy Murphy, Johnny Murphy, was here. You know him. Both of us know him.
Yep.
The one thing he can do is build a team. He signs players, and he sent a lot of good players in Toronto this year. And don't you think so?
Well, I know that they have. K-Dog's watching, and he says, if Dave, Farhan, and Arash are all confident it'll happen, that's good enough for me. Sure. I'm just not yet, because I think the Argos have enough of a stroke, and Naylor hinted that that's true. If it's 8-1, they could still muddle this thing up.
We're afraid some guy will get pissed off the last minute, one of these owners, and say, to hell with you, I'm going to screw it and do it.
And do what?
Vote, not vote.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. It could very easily happen.
Yeah.
Clark had asked a question for Naylor that I will answer from what I know. He said, what concessions have the players given up in this latest agreement that they announced yesterday? And it is prorated salaries, which DuPont and I were talking about this earlier before we even went on the air. If I only worked half a year, I would expect to only be paid half the year. I don't understand why they think they should get 100% of their agreed upon salary if they only play 14 out of 18 games. That's just how they feel that they should, and I just don't. That's where I don't agree with the players.
Very sacred and touchy with them, though.
I know, but it's like, guys, come on, you got to come off of this. It's going to be prorated. If it's 14 games, you're not going to get paid for 18 games.
Yeah.
So that's one thing they've come off. They've already agreed to a 20% pay cut. The incentives, like if you get a 1,000-yard season and you're supposed to get a $10,000 bonus, that's a gray area that they weren't willing, I guess, to continue to fight over. It's like, let's just play, just sign it, let's go, which is what the players wanted. So those are some of the concessions. I heard that they're getting a bonus, a quarantine bonus, to help them financially while they are quarantining ahead of the season. So this is all complicated stuff. But these are the main cruxes of things. They got the shaft and agreed to it and said, let's play. And then they said, it's now on you, owners. We did our part. I'm not so confident that this thing won't be muddled up come Monday, I swear.
Monday.
The sports update here. The Montreal Canadiens will face the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup semifinals with Game 1 set to go Monday. The Golden Knights became the final team to qualify for the third round with a 6-3 win over the visiting Colorado Avalanche in Game 6 of the West Division Final. Donovan Mitchell scored 37 points, and the Utah Jazz forced 9 straight misses down the stretch to outlast the Clippers 117-111 and take a 2-0 lead in their NBA Western Conference semifinal series. Meanwhile, the Milwaukee Bucks blew a 21-point lead but held on in the end to beat the Nets 86-83 and cut Brooklyn's second-round series lead to 2-1. Greek Freak had 33 points in that one. Dallas Keuchel pitched 6 effective innings. Yasmani Grandal homered, and the Chicago White Sox beat the Toronto Blue Jays 5-2. Chicago took 2 of 3 from Toronto and closed out a 5-2 homestand to improve their AL Central lead to a season-high 4.5 over idle Cleveland. Jays, by the way, they're at Boston tonight. Big one there. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and Drive-Thru Liquor Store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. More with Frenzy and I when we come back. On the way on this Flame Tech Football Friday, Rams offensive assistant Bruce Anderson and James Wilder Jr., running back for the Edmonton Elks.
That sounds strange.
Doesn't it?
Oh.
You're watching on Game Plus TV Network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, including Kentucky. YouTube and Facebook Live and 24-hour sports.
That?
How about that? And Kansas, where Rick Regan lives.
How about that?
Our big voice guy. And 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. EDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at Flame Tech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Viewer Takeover. Hall of Fame Saskatchewan Roughriders broadcaster John Frenzy's with us, and I'll let the cat out of the bag. Frenzy's retiring after this broadcast today, so we'll talk a little bit more about that next hour. You've had a few of those retirements with me, eh, Lynch?
I certainly have.
2 or 3 of them.
3 of them, as a matter of fact.
But we'll let you give your speech.
And they've been great ones, boy.
Yeah, well, they've all been great.
Yep.
But we will discuss that more next hour with Frenzy's swan song here. I got some really good comments that have come in. And, hey, tell your friends it's pretty much all CFL day today on this Football Friday for Flame Tech. We're very close to confirmation, I guess, that the CFL is going to play here in 2021. Here come the comments, by the way. Stacy Champagne writes in, says, congrats, Frenzy. There you go. That didn't take long.
No.
From Troy in Toronto. Did Mr. Lynch get a haircut? He's a handsome man. Looking fresh, Frenzy. I said that to you this morning, but I said it was your weight loss.
Yeah.
It was your weight loss.
You're right in both occasions, though.
Got a haircut, and he's losing weight. Yeah. From Nelson Hackowicz, he says, like forever? Yes, this is the swan song today. I know, so get the kudos out here. From Beneath Sports podcast in Toronto, the guy's name's Daryl. He says, I referred to the Vegas Golden Knights as Canada's team in a group chat with my boys. I got absolutely chirped at first, but now everyone refers to them as Canada's team. Ha ha. Hashtag influence.
How about that?
We're starting something. We're starting something just ahead of this Montreal-Vegas series.
Did anybody ever think they'd be that good?
Yes.
You really did?
Absolutely.
I thought the Colorado were better.
They finished tied in the standings in the regular year.
Right.
Calgary. How about Calgary? Get ready, Clark. Roger Yee writes in from Cowtown. He says, morning, Rod and team. How about this? This is going to knock your socks off. And I think I showed this to you, Frenzy. Can you? This picture came in from Jason. Look at that, John. The Rod Pedersen Show bucket in the locker room with the Calgary Stampeders jersey and the Johnny Gaudreau Calgary Flames jersey.
How about that, eh?
How about that?
How about that? How about that? That's pretty cute.
You're hijacking this segment, John, which is exactly what you would want, what you would like from all the viewers here.
Yeah,
from Mandy in Edmonton, Frenzy, you can come back for your guest appearances, please. From Paula Dupont, John, I will miss you, and I still hope to meet you. We can certainly make that happen.
Yeah.
From Chris Chuba Hubbard from Great Western Beer. He says, I hope this is a temporary retirement for John. I need to hear from him when training camp opens. From Roger, are you going to play Happy Trails to You for Frenzy's farewell at the end of the show? How about if I just sing it?
Oh, please not. Please don't. You did it once before.
How about, I'm no Roy Rogers and Dale Evans. Definitely no Dale Evans. From Jack, from William in Lloydminster. I will miss you, Frenzy. Loved watching you getting scolded by Rod. I don't think Lynch liked that very much.
Oh, I understand him.
Listen.
That's right. Mostly, anytime he scolds me, folks, I got to say it's deserved. In our history.
And vice versa.
Of the 35 years when I've scolded him and he scolded me, it's been deserved.
Well, we can go down this rabbit hole now if you want. The viewers want to know it. In 1999, when I was named the voice of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I knew hardly anything about football at all. I was a hockey guy to the bone. And the longtime Rider fans will attest to that. And I called you, Lynch, and I said, will you be my co-host? Remember?
Yep.
On my radio shows, on my TV shows and everything.
Yep.
And remember what you said? You're like, you rescued me from the pasture. You rescued me from the scrap heap. That's what you said.
Is that right?
And here we are 22 years later.
Yeah, it's been great.
From Al Hordell. Oh, my God, my heart just sunk as I heard Rod on the Rod Pedersen Show announce this is John Frenzy's last show. It's been 40 years of listening and being with John. Love you, bud. I'm heartbroken. Al Hordell.
Great guy, Al Hordell.
Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. Joe Lazito in New York says no more Friday rides in Big Bird. I'm not sure I'm ready for this retirement. Well, maybe, Lynch, I can come over to your house and shoot us on my iPhone.
Oh, yeah, we can do that. Sure.
And get your takes on the world.
Sure, no question.
But I don't know whether to believe you, John, or not, if you are scared of riding in my Jeep or not. Because one time you say you are, sometimes you say you are, and then you say you're not. So what are you?
Who has ridden more in your Jeep than you?
And you. No, just the two of us.
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was great.
More of this next hour after the break, everybody. It's a Football Friday on Game Plus TV.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Well, when I first started playing, the scholarship was so important to me. Like, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a gas station, and I used to actually line the field for the team to get paid just to make some extra money.
I think for me, the opportunities that the scholarships provide is very important, or very specifically the stress it alleviates for myself.
The Rams give me the opportunity to buy everything that I need to get the best grades that I can, and that'll lead to me getting hopefully the best job that I can in the future.
There wasn't a scholarship opportunity with the Rams. I know that life would have been a lot more difficult for myself. I'm not too sure exactly how much longer I would have been able to play beyond my first year.
With the opportunity that they provided for me to go through school with the financial support and with the opportunity to continue to play football, now that I look back on it, was the most important thing in my life.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar Buying Group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show.
The Elks. I'm a fan. I'm in. What's the deal that it wasn't Elk? Elks is good. Elk would have been great.
How about that?
It's like, as we said yesterday, the Heat, the Jazz, the Mammoth. It's that team name without an S on the end of it. And I'm not being critical. I'm all for the Elks. I think it's cool. I love the logo. I love the scheme. I'm on it.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hello, Canada and Canadian sports fans around the world, because we do have a lot of Americans checking in on this Flame Tech Football Friday, as we usually do. And it is a bell-ringing day. I guess it is breaking news, if you will. John Frenzy announcing his retirement here on the RP Show today, his final broadcast with the program. And it's not funny, but Mandy in Edmonton has written in and said, I think this is the second time he's retired. Yeah, from this show, and he retired from my radio show. But I'm going to say this was not my decision. And you know this, Lynch. I felt the wrath, and that's all I'm going to say. So it's John Lynch's retirement episode today. It wasn't my call. Nobody's even suspected that it was or suggested that it was. But Cooper Campbell is watching in Mississippi. He's a football guy. And he says, Frenzy, I'll never forget the Joe 747 Adams takes. Classic. Your stories of Joe 747 Adams, Cooper quite liked those. Oh, my God. And here we go. From Joe Lazito, Frenzy needs his own podcast like Don Cherry has. Imagine Frenzy Unleashed. Talk about must listen. Could you imagine, John? Do you know what a podcast is?
Yep.
Like a recorded show that you can say whatever the hell you want.
Yep.
Wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
From the Jug, watching in Saskatoon. Thanks, John, for all the laughs and your knowledge on the game of football. From Beneath Sports Podcast in Toronto, y'all keep safe with the flooding out there in Regina. How about that, Frenzy, as I was driving you around the ring road today? What did I say about the ditch? We've never seen water that high.
That's right. No doubt about that. And personnel at this facility, the station I'm at, 3 of those other guys, they've had the same thing, too. They're complaining about it. It's everybody in Regina is getting flooded out. It's an unbelievable, scary story. Like you wouldn't.
Well, I'm sure my basement's.
You don't want to see it.
No. I'm sure it's full of water right now. I'm not thinking about it while we're on the air. No. Troy in Toronto. I just started watching the RP Show about 6 months ago, and now Frenzy retires? How about that? Football Fridays won't be the same without you, John. Do you have a prediction on the upcoming NFL season as to who will win the Super Bowl?
Oh, certainly. That's an easy one for me. My favorite football player. My greatest football player that ever played, eh?
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
So it's Tampa Bay again, back-to-back.
Right.
How about that?
Tom Brady's a winner.
How about that?
That's what you love about me. He's a
winner all the way.
Makes big plays, MVPs. I think I'm going to put a book together, all my sayings, eh?
You better hurry up and put them together. Okay. I thought you were writing a book.
I have. That's on the Rough Riders.
Okay.
I can show it to you, but
hey, we got a minute before we bring in our next guest. The gentleman, Troy, wants to know if you truly believe the CFL will play in 2021. What would you say to him?
Oh, if you're putting the gun under me, I'd have to say I think so. I really think so. But I couldn't guarantee it. They may not. They may appeal one out of the fire for one reason why they can't do it. I think it's going to happen. Never been more believing and close to really believing that we'll have a football next year.
Our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center is, if I can read the card here, will the CFL Board of Governors vote to play on Monday? And optimism reigns supreme. On Twitter, 86% of you say yes. And on Facebook, 82% of you say yes. So that's the optimism. John, I got to move on to our next guest. Bruce Anderson is offensive special teams assistant and academic coach with the University of Regina Rams. They are a partner of this program. And I think, Bruce, let's start here if we can get him on my screen. Hey, Bruce, good to see you. You know, we talk about the conjecture.
Thanks for having me.
You betcha. We talk about the conjecture of the Canadian Football League season. It is what it is. It all has to do with crowd size. For you guys, you know you're going to play. So how's that sitting with you guys as you prep for 2021?
You know what? It's exciting. We're looking forward to it. I think the players are excited to get back together. They're excited to work together, run together, and we get a chance to see and work with a little CFL on the side as well with it. I think it's a cool opportunity for us.
You know, I was talking to Mark McConkey, your head coach, on this program a few weeks back. It was when your spring camp had been canceled, and he said that it really put you guys behind the 8 ball in terms of your prep. But since then, you've learned that you're going to be playing a shortened season. Are you on the field now? Are you working out now in absence of that spring camp? Or what's the status of your football program right now?
Yeah, we're allowed to be out in the field. We've been out in the field since the beginning of May. Been working in smaller groups, but just recently we've been allowed to work as a whole group together. So we've got 50, 60 guys running out in the field all at once. We're going 3-4 times a week for some of the team, for some of the players, depending on their positions and what's going on. So we've got position workouts, change of directions, speed workouts. We're doing all sorts of work on the field. So it's nice. The boys are finally back together and not just in small groups. They get to see each other and we're outside. So we're following all the protocols. It's a wonderful thing. The guys are fired up and we're making some good progress out there, Rod. It'll be good to see come fall and we can kick off again.
Bruce, John Lynch here. Your linebackers there, you got some couple of guys there I really like. One of them is Josh White. I think he's a top-notch linebacker. Would you agree?
All day if you wanted to. What is the optimism of your players, by the way? I've interviewed a few with them, but man, every night, if that's when you're practicing, I assume is at night, they must just be jumping sky high.
Yeah, it's a different type of, intensity, a different type of purpose that the guys have this year because they've felt football being taken away from them. It's a whole different ballgame for them. So I think that, we every day that the players are out in the field, there's intent and there's purpose and it's meaningful and they understand what it's like to not have it. So they're putting everything into each rep or getting on the field. It's really nice to see that they're putting everything towards having a good season and bringing it out as a team.
Every conference in U Sports intends to play in 2021, which is just music to everybody's ears. But let's just talk about Canada West because we got a lot of viewers on the prairies, obviously, Bruce. What is the outlook right now? I know you're focused only on your own team for sure, but that Husky rivalry is going to be huge. Always, Calgary's been great for years now. What's the outlook for Canada West?
Canada West is always a tight conference, and everybody's always going to play you hard. Rarely are you going to find a game where you're winning by 30 or 40 points. You got to play for all 4 quarters. And so, like you said, we're obviously focused on us. We're looking at other teams as well and what they're doing and who's moving on and who's coming back. But I think it's going to be tough. We got a bunch of good teams we're going to have to play against, but we're going to have to, I'll give you the politically correct answer. We're going to have to come out and we're going to have to play our game and we're going to have to show people that we're here to stay and we're not, that we mean business.
Isn't it nice to actually be able to talk about football for the first time in a year and a half?
It sure is.
It's nice. My wife and kids are sick and tired of me talking football and recruiting and everything at home. So it's nice to talk to someone else other than Mark and Rats and even guys like Coach Stusek. And they're sick and tired of hearing me, so someone else is nice to talk to as well.
Well, hey, and I got to say, we got a ton of viewers in Winnipeg that are watching on Game Plus Television. It's carried by Bell MTS Cable. So you got Kyle Borsa and Robbie Lowe's drafted by the Bombers. Forgive my ignorance. If there were no CFL season, are they eligible to come back with you? What's their university eligibility remaining as Bomber prospects?
Yeah, both those guys would have year 2 of them returning, coming back under the new rules. So if they don't get their CFL shot this year, we both got a chance to come back and make some headway with us on the field.
So you'd like to see that, but on the flip side, your quarterback, Josh Donnelly, told me he hopes there is a CFL season, that he does never have to see Nelson Lacombo again on a U Sports field. So funny how the two are intertwined, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. But you know what? They got some good players, and we're excited to see those. We want that competition. We want those guys to come back. We don't want to play against the second best and leave other people with excuses. We want to see the competition. We want the guys to come in, and we want to see what we got as well.
Of course. Hey, on your business card, obviously says offensive special teams assistant, but it also says academic coach. And I'll be honest, I've heard of academic consultants, that kind of thing, but I've never heard an academic coach. So can you explain that role for yourself with the University of Regina Rams football program?
Yeah, so as the academic coach, one of the big things I'm trying to do here is help the players find success academically, and whether that's helping them with tutors or pushing them into correct classes and throwing them into advisors and making sure they're getting into the right spot, or just trying to make sure that these players can help themselves find success academically, because that's what it is in the long run. We don't want to just hand them the keys. We want to show them how to do it, and we want to make sure that they can do it on their own, because it's not going to be handed to them for the rest of their life. So we'll give them tips on how to do it and show them how they can take care of their business on their own. And our guys had a great year. We finished with 31 or 32 academic All-Canadiens this year, which is a school record for us. So we had a lot of success. Even through the pandemic and through online classes, our players found a way to succeed. And it was just a good foundation that's laid down by Coach McConkey. Like Mark started this program up with our study hall program for the players a few years back. And so we just continued it through the pandemic. And the guys have really turned out, and they've bought in, and they found the success, and they've continued to use it even offline and online through other classes. So it's been really good. It'll be nice when we can get to do it in person, and we can actually have in-person study hall sessions with the fellows, and they can all be there together and bounce ideas back and forth on their classes. But really, as an academic coach, I'm just trying to help put the players in the best place for them to succeed academically.
Coach Anderson, I appreciate the time. Do you want to talk about the Rams 50-50 lottery, or shall I?
That really quick.
Yeah, you go ahead. Go ahead.
We're really excited about it. We got our 50-50 coming up here. The draw is next Friday. So ideally, we get everyone to get the tickets as quick as they can. If they've already gotten them, get some more. But you find them at reginarams5050.com. All the money from the 50-50 goes towards our Players Scholarship Fund. And so the scholarships obviously are helping paying for kids who might not have gotten that opportunity to go to school before. And really, turn their life around and for the better, get themselves university education and continue on and learn new things and meet new people. So the 50-50 is really a big thing for us. We're excited about it. We ran it in the fall with a ton of success. We're hoping again for another strong 50-50 shot here. And again, tickets are 1 for $5, 3 for $10, 12 for $20, and 50 for $50. And again, the pot's at about $20,000 as of this morning. It was about $19,500 coming up on $20,000 with another week to go. So if we can push it to 30-40 here in the next week, it'll be hopefully one happy Saskatchewan's customer here.
You betcha. All right, Coach. I appreciate it. That's reginarams5050.com. Thank you. Good luck, and we'll be talking to you as the season approaches.
Hey, thanks, Rod. Thanks. We'll see you again soon.
You betcha. Regina Rams offensive and special teams assistant and academic coach Bruce Anderson joining us in advance of the 2021 U Sports season. Well, regarding back to the Canadian Football League, and we're hoping to have James Wilder Jr. joining us from the Edmonton Elks later on in the program. Clark's forewarned me that there might be a scheduling snafu with James. Football players. The bane of my existence. Let me read some comments here. Norway calling. This is from Trent, obviously, watching in Norway, where it's currently 7:14 p.m. We will miss you dearly, John. We need all the lynchisms brought back from the radio show. Thanks so much for all the sayings and bold lynch predictions. Enjoy your retirement and keep in touch with all of us. Have a good weekend, everyone. Back on my radio show, Lynch, I used to have these little recorded clips that I would play. We called them lynchisms. Do you remember any of those?
Some.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
That's right.
Or really love the attitude of Chris Jones. Remember that one?
Yeah.
Lynchisms.
Yeah, they're much.
I see Tom Halleck is just losing his mind in Winnipeg. He's writing us in all caps. That tears it. I've had enough of your no CFL season in 2021 BS. Oh, man. One of those coaches that I talked to last night and the agent, they said, man, are you taking a lot of flack for just reporting the truth? And I said, I can take it. I got big shoulders. I'm fine. It's literally like, I think it's 50-50. One of the CFL team's GMs told their staff this week it's 50-50 whether they play. So I'm going by what I hear.
I don't like to hear that.
And, sorry. Yeah, people don't like to hear the truth.
I don't
101. It's not new.
Don't like to hear that.
From Nelson Hakowicz. Very Winnipegish. How about that? That was your. That's the one that made you famous.
Yeah, I love that one.
Very Winnipeggish.
Very Winnipeggish.
Can you do this in a yes or no answer? Larry Dye is watching in Medicine Hat. Hey, John, in your opinion, should the Riders have taken a safety to run down the clock instead of kicking back to Ottawa in the 1976 Grey Cup?
Certainly they should have. Certainly. A good memory there, buddy. Yeah, it's a heartbreaker, that one.
Oh, Tacona Pauli writes in and says, Rod, I've had your back in DePeg. You don't got to have my back. Listen, man, don't. As I told my addictions counselor, who's now become my colleague, he's like, I spent all my time defending you. I said, don't. It's a never-ending job. I don't need you to defend me. Tacona Pauli in Winnipeg or Rand, I'll be fine. I'm a big boy. I got big shoulders.
And you forget
but thanks.
well. You forget well, too.
Tom says, if there's no CFL season, will Borsa and the other kid from Regina be back to the Rams? That's what I'm referring to. Oh. Well, why wouldn't I ask that question, Tom? Listen, you do you, I'll do me. I do the talking, you do the watching. That's the deal.
But Calgary...
Cinnamon Sun 06, she's watching in Pittsburgh. She says, I love the Canadian way of saying sorry. Well... You Americans, you people in America, you say, sorry. I hear it all the time. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't feel like there's that we don't have that big of accent, Lynch. But
no, I don't think we do either.
Maybe we do.
I don't think we do.
Maybe we do, eh?
Yeah, I guess we do. I don't think we do. I don't see it. My cousin says we do, and she's from Spokane.
Sorry.
She used to be in Regina, lived in Regina for 42 years, and the rest of her years she lived in beautiful Spokane. 3 husbands. What more can you ask?
Come on, 3 at one time or one after another?
No, one after the other. One after the other. One after the other.
We'll be back. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday here on the old RP show. Lynch's last. Flame Tech's locally owned and operated industry leaders in commercial and industrial combustion technology. We'll be right back. You're watching on Game Plus TV Network across all 10 provinces and 31 states, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Stars, you are dispatched to a scene call. The patient has multiple traumatic injuries and is unconscious but breathing.
This is why I backed the Stars lottery.
Stars, we can accept the mission.
This is why I'm all in.
Mission accepted. Have a safe flight.
The prizes are great. The cause is critical.
Stars Lottery, the lottery on a mission. Get your early bird tickets by June 24th for a chance to win a truck, trailer, toys, and cash. Buy yours at starslottery.ca or 1-844-STARS-SK.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
Direct West has been the bridge for me from not dealing with social media or digital presence to having a presence. You have to take the leap of faith, so to say, and I'm glad we have. Direct West has helped us out immensely to get our presence online as far as digitally and also with the social media page. To see the results is just puts a smile on your face.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Hey, Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Laid back and kicking it. Let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. It's a Flame Tech Football Friday, Frenzy's last show. And I'll say thank you again, guys, for putting in my favorite bumper music, as they say. It's just so catchy. Yeah, so we were supposed to have Edmonton Elks running back James Wilder Jr. on right now, but then he's rescheduled. And I was thinking, football players have been the bane of my existence. You know how they are, Lynch.
Yeah.
But then I realized we had two hockey players stand us up yesterday because they drank too much at a golf tournament in Scottsdale. So I think it's just young men.
Yeah.
And I was one. Who the hell am I to chastise anybody? I was the worst offender.
It's not important to be there.
That is what it is.
Media guys are not important to be in touch with, really.
I'm not just a media guy. Sean from Vancouver texting, happy trails, Frenzy. I'll miss you on Football Fridays and enjoy retirement. Go Riders. Ottawa Red Blacks linebacker Micah Awe writing in, enjoy another retirement, Frenzy. You've made me laugh every Flame Tech Football Friday. I'm never going to unhear your laugh. That'll stick with me forever. Ottawa Redbacks linebacker Mike Awe. How about that, Lynch? That's the kind of influence.
Very impressive. Yeah, that's very nice.
From Jack in Alberta. John, if I hadn't been for you being on the RP show, if it hadn't been for you being on the RP show, I would have never known about you. So thank you, Rod. Frenzy, it's been an honor and a privilege getting to know you on the show. So there. Chris Schrader writing in. Morning, Roddy. I can't wait to see the massacre Canada's team will give the Canadiens. How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
After this last appearance with Frenzy brought to you by Wheaton Kia, we'll be putting this hat, maybe I'll put it right here, adorning Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. It's really catching on.
Yeah.
If you missed the warm-up earlier for E-Call Electric, I was saying that I was upset that the Knights won 6-3 last night. Quite upset, because I had them predicted to win 5-3. Didn't have any money on it or anything like that. By the way, that second half kickoff that we just came through is brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the Seattle Kraken fan club. And it's owned and operated by the Greek freak, Georgi Nitsos. And it's his birthday today, Lynch, by the way. And my dad's as well. John Lynch and my dad graduated together. Luther College, 1955.
Right.
You want to tell any of those stories, Lynch?
Better not.
You used to date the same girls?
Huh?
That's what you said. You guys used to date the same girls.
Yeah, that's right. Couple of the same girls. Maybe three as it works out.
Stop.
As it works out.
I shouldn't have led you down that road.
No.
Drew Koser, watching from the Off the Hosel podcast, says Vegas is a wagon. They are a wagon. And if you listened or read my commentary this morning, here's a little known fact that nobody knows, but I'll divulge. When the Golden Knights went down 0-2 to Colorado in this series, Alex Pietrangelo guaranteed the owner, Bill Foley, that they would win the next four.
Yeah.
How about that?
How
Not
about
only
that?
did
How
they...
about Alex Pietrangelo? Is he a player, right?
He's a stud.
Yeah.
He's a baller.
Yeah. They got some great players. Their scouts have done a terrific job recruiting.
Yeah.
A sensational job.
Here's a story. This is what people love about this show, I think. One of them. The Hockey Club podcast watching in Tallahassee, Florida. Some of my favorite memories as a child growing up in Regina was the drive home after Rider games, listening to the post-game show with my entire family in the car. Thank you, Frenzy. I got a story about that. Did you ever know my grandpa, Marion Nicholas? Did you ever know him?
Yeah, I think so.
My mom's dad. He took me and my cousin Chad. We'd have been about 7. It was like 5 minutes left in a game, and you might remember it was against the Argos, and late 70s. We left the game. He was always big on leaving the game early to get to our car, packed stadium, of course. And the Argos come back, and it goes to overtime, and we were just pulling in to the farm near Milestone, Saskatchewan, and you were calling overtime. And we're like, Grandpa, how do you make us leave? What I say, we were 7, maybe 8. But I was listening to this guy. And but then, hey, history repeats itself. Now I leave games early all the time. Yeah. How about that? He was ahead of his time.
Yeah. Not very often, though. I like to stay to the end.
I don't. What the heck? From Sean Walters, say goodbye to Canada's team, Rod. Go Habs. Oh, we're going to have a lot of fun with this Montreal-Vegas series. Wayne in Victoria, British Columbia says, I'm hoping for a Vegas Islanders final. By the way, I'm not hoping for it. I called it before the Stanley Cup playoffs began. I can go find it anywhere from this show or my columns that I write at rodpedersen.com.
What about the crowd there now? The Allowance, or my Allowance, but the Canadian fans get to go out there?
2,500 of them. I don't see anything in the news saying they're going to push more than 2,500 fans into the Bell Center. And I don't want... Do you have both your shots, John?
Yep.
I knew you had one. You're fully vaccinated.
I'm Superman.
How's it feel? You are Superman.
Not Clark Kent or John Lynch. I'm Superman.
John Frenzy is Superman. But I mean... You were watching the Vegas game last night. You said you watched the whole game, and it's it's almost embarrassing. This is just me talking. Sorry, I'm going to be probably politically incorrect here, but it's embarrassing that we're still sitting here with empty arenas and not even playing at all, and that's going on down there.
Oh.
Now, having said that, Gary Lawless was on here on Monday and said in the state of Nevada, anybody who wants 2 shots has them. And I think you must need them to get into the game. I don't really know. I'm not going to Vegas to watch a hockey game right now. But you can't argue that it's embarrassing.
It is. No question. No question. But it happens. I mean, they do it.
From Jeff the Stamps fan, what? RP doesn't stay until the end? That isn't proper fandom. That's because I'm not a fan. How about that?
Yeah, he told me that, too. He's not a Rider fan. He's a Pat fan. Already.
I leave the Pats games early, too.
Yeah. But you're insane and incensed about the Pats, and justifiably so.
Always have been.
We're voice for a couple of years.
15
years, and coming up the next 2 for sure with the new kid, the sensational boy we have joining our team. Best junior player in Canada, probably.
Connor Bedard.
Yep. So that's
in the world.
And the Riders have been frustrating with their treatment here to you, so that's understandable.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about that?
Tom Halleck in Winnipeg says, nice to know Roddy can live without another CFL season, but myself and others don't have that luxury right now. See, Tom, you're a good guy. Remember how I used to always come down and sit with you before the games at the press box in Winnipeg? Remember that? Who else does that, Tom? I consider you a friend, but people are getting very hot under the collar in the Canadian Football League right now, and they're tired of being dangled. They're tired of being bluffed. And if you've been watching the whole show, which it sounds like you have, I mentioned earlier what that agent said to me last night, what one of the coaches said to me last night on the phone. They're like, man, you're getting a lot of flack for just saying the truth. I said, I can handle it. I got big shoulders. Lynch, you're the same.
Oh, yeah.
You probably taught me how to do that. Well, you and my dad.
Yeah, but I'm feeling it now because people are stopping me in the street, giving me hell like it was my fault. Walking down the street.
I know. Like, what do you want? Like, I can't sit here and lie to you. I can't do it. That's why I've been trying to steer the direction to NFL and bringing on all the NFL guys in the Stanley Cup playoffs because what I know isn't that positive, all right? My God, I'm tired. Don't come at me because they're not playing. Do not. I'm really getting sick of it, actually.
Okay. Now, what is the time for this vote? You're telling me it's Monday.
Well, we don't know. Is
that Monday morning or Tuesday?
Well, the vote's Monday. We don't know when they're going to announce that. I mean, the last time they did it was last August 17th, last summer, and they had it announced by the afternoon.
It was terrible.
Well, look, nothing's changed in this league. I'm reading the report from the Canadian press that says all we need is 6 out of 9 votes, yes, and we'll be playing. Okay, well, last summer you had 6 out of 9 said yes, and you didn't play. So what's changed? And I put that to Naylor last hour, and he didn't have an answer. It's how the CFL does business, and what the hell are you getting mad at me for?
That's what scares me.
Because the vote here is 86% on the Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center poll. 86% of people on Twitter saying they expect the vote to be yes and they're going to play on Monday. And what are they saying on Facebook? It was like 86%. Same thing. What the hell are you going to do if they don't?
Well, look at this. 86% of the fans believe they will vote to play. That's great. Well, the CFL...
Okay, I'm going to have to go to a commercial because I'm going to blow my stack. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, well, if RP was speaking the truth, and I'm not saying he wasn't, someone sure had this wrong. We were told the CFL is dead without the NFL, MLSE, or XFL intervention. Jeff, they're not on the field yet. Like, is there another way that I can say I'll believe that they're playing when I see them on the field? What? Am I speaking another language to you? Which, by the way, I know for a fact that some of these teams have been getting finances from outside private enterprise. It would be dead without that.
That's right.
That's a fact. Sorry, Wheaton Kia. So I'm going to blow my stack here
right now. I don't like that happening right now.
Wheaton Kia falling off that?
Yeah.
Jack Fulton. Rod is the rock star of his own show today. I should wear my own hat for rock star of the day. Well, Habs for Life 41 says, I'm a little triggered by the XFL shirt. They sent it to me, so I'm going to wear it. I asked the CFL for gear. None showed up. And regarding, isn't the CFL's fault that they're not playing per se because the vaccination rollout is so slow, but as Troy in Toronto says, the vaccine situation in Canada is a total embarrassment. Thank you, Justin. But speaking of a broken record, when I sit here and say, I see this local team bragging that they have $7 to $8 million in a contingency fund that they didn't have to touch. I see Edmonton saying they got $15 million. And I'm sitting here saying, then why aren't you playing? Why won't you play? I have yet to get an answer for that. And I'm in this for the coaches and the players, and primarily the players, because they're the ones that have been getting screwed over and nobody seems to care.
Well, you don't get answers. The big thing, the frustration the fans have to a T is they don't get answers.
EGA watching on YouTube says, Mr. Pedersen, bang on with his CFL comments. Thanks for being true. Like, I was on a Calgary podcast the other day, and I'll tell you, it was called Sea of Dead. And the host, Josh, said, Rod, aren't you glad that their CFL didn't go 2 years without playing? Aren't you glad? Because I don't think the CFL could have lasted. I'm like, they're not playing now. What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it, guys. There's still way too many hurdles to be cleared.
Well, that's what I'm afraid of, but I hope not. They can't dare do that, can they?
Not play?
Yeah.
They could. Why do you think this spring some owners leaked it to the Dan Barnes of the Edmonton Journal? Well, we could go 2 years without playing. Financially, we could go 2 years without playing. Why would they put that out there unless they were thinking about it?
And you hear snipples that they've talked to The Rock again. And The Rock is definitely becoming alive again in 22.
Yeah. Frenzy, we're going to let you go. I'm sure your ride's here. Joe Loomis.
Yep.
Thank you for all you do, Frenzy.
It's been great, buddy.
Hey, do you have a comment to say to anybody before we let you? John Frenzy's last show.
Wonderful people. Love doing it. You're great to work with. Very exciting to work with. Get me all enthused about life. Makes life worthwhile. Your comments made life worthwhile, too. Really appreciate that. And, of course, how about this guy? Don't come any better, eh? Rod Pedersen. The greatest. Best I've ever worked with. Best person I've ever worked with. And best announcer. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
Hey, mic drop. How about that? And thank you, sir.
How about that?
The man's family. We'll be back, and Moose DuPont will be back in here. It's the RP Show on Game Plus TV and 24-hour sports radio at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
Direct West provides us with stats and analytics, and it's amazing for us to look and see that, each year we're 10 to 20% higher on our Google leads. It's great to see the success that our locations are having. The Direct West app gives us an opportunity to be in one place for people to find any of our locations or our commodities. Without Direct West, we would have to be in multiple digital places. I would recommend Direct West. They're great to work with.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Moose Dupont has rejoined us here. Sports update. The Montreal Canadiens will be facing their former captain in round 3 of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Max Pacioretty and the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Colorado Avalanche last night 6-3 to win their second round series in 6. The Habs traded Patches to Vegas in September 2018 in a deal for forward Nick Suzuki. I would think both teams would do it again. Game 1 goes Monday.
Oh, yeah.
They would.
Oh, yeah.
That's the way the trade should go down.
Absolutely.
That both sides are happy.
Yep.
Caleb Hofer watching on YouTube says, can't believe the Knights won. Why can't you believe that? You should have listened to the show yesterday. I called it. The Denver Nuggets will need even more from the NBA MVP in their series against the Phoenix Suns. Nikola Jokic and his Nuggets teammates trail the Suns 2-0 in their second round set as they get set to host Game 3 tonight. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks host the Philadelphia 76ers with that series split 1-1. The Ottawa Blackjacks of the Canadian Elite Basketball League have announced the signing of Canadian Chris Joseph. A 6'7" forward from Montreal, Joseph has averaged 10.4 points, 3.2 rebounds, and 1.3 assists in 212 pro games over his 10-year career. He was originally drafted in the second round of the 2012 NBA draft by the Boston Celtics. Toronto Blue Jays open a 4-game series with American League East rival Boston tonight at Fenway. The last time these two teams met, the Red Sox took the last 2 of a 3-game set in Dunedin. World number 1 Dustin Johnson got off to a fast start at Congaree in his home state Palmetto Championship, shooting a 6-under 65 that left him a shot behind leader Wes Roach. Johnson hadn't played since missing the cut at the PGA Championship last month. The sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number 1 source for Western Hockey League breaking news and analysis with the best team of writers across Western Canada and the Pacific Northwest. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, order yours today at g2gbars.ca. RP Show viewers get 20% off with a promo code RP Show. And listen, Moose is back for the first time since the warm-up, and you were watching the show on Game Plus in your office. I know that.
That's right.
And you see that people are getting hot under the collar. Like CFL people are getting very hot under the collar. They're all believing that this vote on Monday is going to be a yes and they're going to play. And I'm just not convinced yet. And you see where the tensions are really getting really fraught, man. It's been 16 months of this.
Yeah. And there's 2 sides, 2 schools of thought here for me. And I'm trying to figure out where I land on this, because on the one hand, I'm here for it. You want to be excited and optimistic? Have a great weekend. Be excited. All of that. We should be. Why would we be Debbie Downer in the mud? But the other side of it is you're just lifting yourself up to get really, really hurt. And not saying that it's going to be no. Like I'm leaning towards more of a yes than a no. I really am. But it's not 90% yes. It's more like 60-40. Like, I'm really not sure. I really don't know. I'm pretty confident that, they're going to get it together and we're moving in the right direction and we'll play. But also, I'm not letting myself get too far there, because we build ourselves up too much on this, and then we just get really hurt. We've seen it with John, right, when they don't play. So that's all. We're just trying to temper expectations. So I'm all about being excited and optimistic they're going to vote yes. But you got to have that in the back of your mind.
That's the point. I want them to play too, but you said it very eloquently. Last summer, we all got our hopes up, and they were dashed for no good reason. The majority of teams voted to play, and they still didn't. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to allow that to happen. Mm-hmm. And you need to go way back to the warm-up where we discussed that, and I talked with agents and coaches last night that said a lot of what went down with the Players Association Thursday was more wording than anything else. And they've pushed the chips in the middle of the table. They said, we're in. Players, that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, owners. And now we're going to find out on Monday whether the owners are in or not. I'm not entirely certain that they are. Habs for Life 41 in Vancouver says, does the CFL just expect everyone to buy tickets after their communication level to us fans? I don't know what they expect. From Nelson Hakowicz, your CFL update is nothing has changed. Jeff the Stamps fan, I feel most fans are prepared if this doesn't work out, but things are pointing to yes. I would agree with that. Fool me once. How many times have I said it now? 796 times? I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team.
Let's do it.
And how you can support Canada. We're uniting Canada for the Vegas Golden Knights. Darren, take it away.
Yeah, hit it, Clark. We're uniting Canada. So it's up. We randomly came up with this yesterday that we are literally uniting Canada. And you came up with the play on the word, night. Golden Knights. So this is our graphic designer, Troy, whip this up last night.
He's in Vancouver.
He's in Vancouver. We put this together, our own little play. And it's available now, rodpedersenshop.com. So go to rodpedersenshop.com. I think it's only $25. Get it. It'll be sent out right away, and you can support the Vegas Golden Knights as Canada's team. How about that?
Uniting Canada.
Uniting Canada.
This series against Montreal is not only just going to be tremendous, but now the back and forth and the rub.
We should have said dividing Canada, because that's what's going to happen in this series.
I'm up for it. Hey, I like it. From Stacey Champagne watching on Facebook. Nice. Uniting Canada. Don't be left in the dark. People are getting cute with it. Oh, my. Habs for Life 41 in Vancouver says, can we get that shirt in gold?
How about that?
We thought about that. We needed to get one out real quick. Maybe there'll be other ones. I like these comments that are coming in, man.
I know.
This is great.
William in Lloydminster says, who stands to lose the most if they vote no? Everybody but the owners. Think about that over the weekend. Kevin Olenek, I'm buying that shirt. Great deal. From Ryan McCarthy in Saratoga, New York. That shirt is fire, as the kids say. Mike Horgan in Toronto says, cool shirt, dumb idea.
I love that.
Jealous, big guy, huh? Jealous? How your Leafs doing? Dope! All the fans the Vegas Golden Knights are gaining on this run.
Oh, I know.
Mind-boggling. Let's take a break. Oh, Clark just said it right in my ear at the same time.
Jinx.
We're on the same page, kid. Overtime is coming up next, and I'm sure we'll find something to debate in the face-off. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445. In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Clark, have I got a job for you? Business of the week. Yeah. And we got to talk about Landmark Cinemas, too. I'm loving all these comments that are coming in here, as are you. We got our new shirts out. Uniting Canada. Canada's team, the Vegas Golden Knights. Yeah.
You're going to go somewhere?
Yeah, I was just going to read some comments. But
Well, can we do something different with the business of the week?
Sure.
I know we highlight businesses on the MySask 401. You guys can throw it up. Let's just do it. You don't have one in mind, do you? No.
Absolutely not.
Let's do Tennis Saskatchewan. I'm wearing the hoodie.
Of course.
They're not a business per se. They kind of are. They won't. I don't know if they're going to be on the MySask 411 app like your businesses are when you're going to go order pizza or do what you're going to do this weekend. But Rory sent me the hoodie, and I've been watching the French Open in my office during the show and second screen. I want to give these guys a shout. But all the sports organizations across the country, all the amateur sports organizations, a little bit of a plug because they've gone through the pandemic, and then, man, they haven't been able to get on the court or the field or the ice or the track or wherever they're going, and they continue to put the work in. So they're getting excited to get their seasons back, some starting earlier than others. So for all those people like Rory that are putting in all the work right now and hoping to get back on the court or the field or whatever their sport is, kind of a shout out for them.
All amateur sports organizations. Across the country. I like it. Support their fundraisers. My gosh, we're 16 months into this. They've had no revenue in 16 months. Rams is an example of that.
Absolutely.
Support your local sports organization. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened here, but the comments have just gone nuts here. And it's like they know it's the last segment of the week. Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says, face-off idea. Vegas Golden Knights get a lot of flack from the rest of the league for being gifted the team they have. Is it a gift from the NHL or jealousy of great work done by the Vegas front office? It's all jealousy. Clark just yelled from the room. It's all jealousy. Yeah. One of the 7 deadly sins. And I want to say it's probably number 1 out of the 7 deadly sins.
They were not gifted a team. I remember when they came out of that expansion draft, even though they had some assets from trades and whatnot to be able to do some things, we didn't think they'd win 15 games, let alone be in the Final Four 3 of the first 4 years.
Nobody wants to give anybody credit for the hard work that they do. Right?
That's right.
We live it here every day. From William May, watching in Canada's only border city, Lloydminster. He says, this hurts, but I have to say I'm going to cheer on the Golden Knights. Ta-da! How about that? We got a shirt for you.
How about that?
You want to throw that up, Clark? Where can they order this?
RodPedersenShop.com.
Can't buy these in stores.
You can go to our social feeds. We got links up too, but RodPedersenShop.com. Really cheap, actually. It's like $25. Uniting Canada. Our Golden Knights shirt is at RodPedersenShop.com. Sorry, it's not a Golden Knights shirt. Nothing official there.
It's a knighting shirt.
It's a knighting shirt for Canada's team.
Can I get that in gold? From Tacona Powley in Winnipeg. Rod, He types it with 3 Ds. Rod, with Frenzy's retirement, is there a position open? That's a hard no. So the face-off is brought to you by the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw and by the Ultimate Fan Zone. And here's the face-off. Who are the Vegas Golden Knights, Canada's team, going to play in the Stanley Cup Final? The New York Islanders or the Tampa Bay Lightning? And I'm going to go first and say the New York Islanders. And I'm going to be in a glass case of emotion with Jordan Eberle playing the Vegas Golden Knights. Who am I going to cheer for? Vegas, obviously. But they're going to beat Tampa in 6. Because Tampa is they're a very solid team. But they won the Stanley Cup last year, which was a long grind for them. And they beat the Islanders. This is the rematch. Islanders are climbing that hill. Barry Trotz, all business. Islanders having a record-breaking season. They will beat the Tampa Bay Lightning and oppose the Vegas Golden Knights in the Stanley Cup Final. You heard it here first. Woo! You?
Tampa. I don't think they've climbed their mountain yet this year. You said climbing the hill, and that's what teams do. They climb the mountain. And I think for the Winnipeg Jets, they climbed the mountain when they beat Edmonton. I mean, yeah, it was 4 games, but it took a lot out of them, and that was really emotional and a big win. I don't think Tampa's done, and I think Andre Vasilevsky is too good. I think New York will struggle to score goals. And Braden Point, just automatic. Whenever there's something on the line, he is automatic. We haven't even really heard much of Steven Stamkos. Kucherov, I think Tampa's such a strong team. I think they win.
Well, you're wrong, but the face-off brought to you by the Mad Greek and Moose Jaw. Need to feed a large group? Catering and group orders available. Visit themadgreekeatery.com for more information. And brought to you by the Ultimate Fan Zone, taking UFZ on the road, coast to coast. Slick, user-friendly. This site was built for the die-hard sports fan. Order your merch today at ultimatefanzone.ca. Or make the drive to beautiful Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan, because they are your home for Vegas-born merch as well. William in Lloyd says he's going to buy one.
Get on it. RodPedersenShop.com.
From Joe Lazito, he says, I agree with you, Rod. Go Islanders. From the Puck and Pigskin podcast, you're pumping them up too much, Rod. Get to jinx them. You do you, I'll do me. There's no such thing as a jinx. There isn't. It's going to come down to who wants it more, and it's going to be the Vegas Golden Knights. What else, Moose? Movies. Where are the movies? Landmark Cinemas. Theaters are open now in Regina. What do we got here?
I know. I'm going to try and go.
A Quiet Place Part 2. Dun, dun, dun.
There's some good, you know what? Now that we're into June, middle of June, movies are going to start hitting. I've been following this a little bit because we're movie guys.
Yes.
Love the movies. And like middle of June now, they're going to start coming. Like the good ones are rolling. And this is going to be a really good summer and fall for movies. It really is. All the ones that like have been spread over the past year and a half that were supposed to be coming, now they're all going to be crammed into this little window, and it's going to be really, really great. Landmark's the best place to watch a movie.
It's raining all weekend. Go to a movie. Bob in Grand Prairie says Vegas is in the USA and owned by a wealthy American family. That's Canada's team. Go Habs. He was raised in Ottawa. Bill Foley. Come on. Know your stuff. A lot of texts coming in here on John Frenzy, too. It's a big show today. On Monday, Darren Dreger, Joe Lazito, and our NFL insider, Jim Lang. Until then, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you at noon Eastern Monday on Game Plus. I never told you to shut up. Well, a couple times.
Yeah.
How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that? How about that?